Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Yadavaya Nama Krishna Madhavaya Namaha Madhavaya Govindaya Keshavaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, shall we start, Amit?
Yes, Madhu.
Yeah.
Chapter 13. Nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Arjuna Yuvacha. Prakritim Purusam Jaiva Kshatriyam Kshatriyagyam Evacha Etado Vedituchvami Jnanam Jayam Cha Keshava. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Idam Sariram Kaunteyo Kshetram Mityabhidhayate Etada Yobetintam Pratu Kshetrakas iti tadit. Translation. Arjuna, O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, Purusa, and the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and the object of knowledge, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Said this body, son of Kunti, is called the field, and on who knows this body is called the knower.
So now that we have completed the middle Bhakti Yoga chapters, we have come to the Jnana Yoga chapters. So 13th chapter is all about the body, the knower of the body, the consciousness. Okay, as the title says, now Arjuna is inquiring with Lord Krishna. He's saying what exactly is the Kshetra, Kshetrajna, and what is this consciousness? So Lord is replying to Arjuna's answer that Kshetra is the body what all of us possess, the Jivatma. And the knower of the body is the Paramatma. So let's see what he will ask next and what Lord will answer to it.
Text 3. Kshetram chapimam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetragya jnanam yata jnanam mamam matam mama. Translation. O Shian of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion.
So here again, Lord is saying to Arjuna, so that I know the body. Here actually good analogy has been given. If you go to the purport, in a king, many people will be in a kingdom, many people will be living. King will know about the land of a particular person in a village, isn't it? Village or a kingdom. Okay. But that particular person will know only about his land, how many acres he has, what is the cultivation, this thing, and all those things. But the person who is ruling the kingdom, he has a knowledge about everyone's land in the village or the kingdom, and he's the knower of all the knowledge. Similarly, Lord Krishna, he knows everything. See, we Jivatma, we know only about ourselves, what all we possess. But a Paramatma knows everything about everybody who is being present in the universe. And to understand this body, what we possess, whatever the intelligence we are inculcating, and we are trying to more know about it, so we'll become knowledgeable about it. So we will advance further, and more mature we become to know about it, then it becomes easier to cultivate our consciousness in a way to Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Text 4. Tat kshetram yacha yadikyari jatascha jat chacho ye jat prabhavascha tat samashena mestrinu. Translation. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who will knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are.
Yeah. So here again, Lord is saying to Arjuna, like you should know about the composition of the body, and what exactly changes happen when it get in contact with the material nature, and when it comes in contact with the material nature by three modes of nature, that is sattva, raja, and tamoguna. So when it's getting contacted, what are the changes it is going to produce, and what influence is going to happen? We will come to see in our next coming text.
Text 5. ऋषिभिः बहुधा गीतम् छन्दर्भिविविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रोपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः. That knowledge of the field of activities and of knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect.
Yeah, so the knowledge about the field of activities means when we come in contact with the material nature with three different modes. So what activities we will do, and it has been described by different sages in various Vedic writings. So what will happen if we interact in a Sattva guna, that has some impact, and Rajoguna it has got some impact, and Tamoguna it has got some impact. Everything is been given in a Vedic literature. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna.
Text 6 and 7. Text 6 and 7.
Yeah.
महाभूतान्यहङ्कारो बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचराः इच्छादेश सुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतनाधृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन च विकारमुदाहृतम्. Translation. The five great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the five sense objects: desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms and convictions, All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions.
Yeah. So what are the 5 elements we are composed of? Can you please tell me? Panchabhuta. What are those Panchabhuta? We are made up of Panchabhuta, no? Hmm?
Hey,
Yeah. What are those Panchabhuta?
Mritika, Jal, Agni, Vayu,
Yes.
Akash.
So these 5 elements along with the 3 subtle elements. The subtle elements are the false ego, intelligence,
Ahankar,
and the
Buddhi,
mind.
Ahankar, Buddhi,
Yeah, this false ego, intelligence, and the mind. This constitute the uh, totally 10 elements. And the 10 senses, these are the working senses. What are the 5 sense organs?
Chaksu, Karna, Nasika, Jiva, Tak.
Pardon?
Chakhu, Karna, Jiva, Nasika, Tak.
Yeah. So, what are the working senses?
Bak, Pani, Pad, Vayu, Upastha.
Can you please tell me in English? I'm not able to understand, Amit.
Hey,
What are the working senses? The
मैंने तो
voice,
मैंने तो
taste, yeah, the hand, and your what do you say? The evacuation place. All those comes under the working senses. So with all these elements, the 24 elements. So these are said to be in summary, and when it comes in contact with the material mode, so it will produce certain different activities. So will be the interactions. Yeah. Next.
text 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. Amanityamadhanti mahimsha shantirajabam acharya pasanam sarchang theyarjamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagya manahankaro evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukha dosha nudarshanam ashaktiranavishakta पुत्रदारो गृहादिषु नित्यं च समर्पित अमिष्टामि निष्टपवित्रषु मयि चानन्ययोगेनो भक्तिरो व्याभिचारिणि विविक्तदेशसेवित्य अमरति अर्जुन संसदि अध्यत्तज्ञानो नित्य नित्यतं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्च ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तं ज्ञानं यत् यदत अन्यथा. Translation. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness, amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical research for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and beside this, whatever there may be, is ignorance.
Yeah. So a devotee, exactly what exactly he possesses, Lord is describing here. He should be having a humility and a pridelessness. He should be non-violent, tolerant, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master for his progress and cleanliness, which means internal and external cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, and renunciation of object for sense gratification. And he's not having any ego, and he is free from the attachment to birth, death, or disease, or an old age or something, and not attached to the family or even mindedness, even amidst very unpleasant situation or pleasant situation also, and with unalloyed pure devotional service towards him. And he wanted to be detached and live in a solitude place, and he wanted to do the bhakti. So anybody who has this knowledge about me, because he is a pure devotee, he has a knowledge about me, that is the reason why he is following all these things. And any other devotee who is, or any other person who is not knowing about all these characteristics, definitely is said to be in a mode of a ignorance. Yes, ma.
Text 13. Yayam yat tat prabha Yayam yat tat pravakshami Yajavyanatmatatpana Sorry. Yayam yat yat pravakshami Yogyata Anadi Matparang Brahma Na Satyanna Saducha. Translation: I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world.
So here, so Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, now I shall explain you the knowledgeable one, so that you can taste the eternal Brahman, the spirit, the beginningless and subordinate to me. So, and I am the cause and effect of everything which is there in the material world. So now Lord is explaining to Arjuna. Next.
Text 14. Sarvata Panipadam Tat Sarvata Aksisira Mukham Sarvata Srutimallake Sarvamabrita Tishtati. Translation: everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading.
So now Lord is saying, like everywhere his hands, legs, everything is there. His eyes, the Vishwarupa, this innumerable infinite forms, as I told you. So the super soul exists everywhere. There is no place in the universe where Lord doesn't exist.
Text 15. Sarvendriya gunabhasham Sarvendriya vivarjitam asat asaktam sarva vrichaivo nirgunang punavraktricha. Translation: the super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time he is the master of all the modes of material nature.
So, as super soul is the source of all the senses, what all senses we possess, whether it's a working senses or the sense organs, or the uh, um, other, the false intelligence, the ego, everything, false ego, intelligence, mind, everything, he is the source of all these things. But he is he has created, but he is unattached to what all activity we do with these senses. Similarly, he has prepared or given us all the three modes of material, that is Sattva, Raja, and Tamoguna. At the same time, he is the master of all these three modes of nature. Whatever happens, he has just created, but whatever activity we does, he has got nothing to do with that. Yeah.
Text 16. Bahirantascha bhutanam charam charamev cha shikhatatvadabhikya drastham chantike cha tat. Translation: the supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving, because he is Sabal. He is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know, all the far, far away. He is also near to all.
Yeah. So here Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna is there inside out of all the living beings, moving and non-moving, because in 10th chapter he explains, no, in Meru Parvat he is there, in Airavat he is there. Think of any living or non-living thing, I am there. He himself declares to Arjuna, isn't it? So that's what again he's reinforcing here, that he is there in every entity, whether it's a moving or non-moving thing, he's there inside that, because he's subtle and yeah, and he's the power, he is beyond the power of materials. We can't see him with the ordinary things. That's the reason why he gives the special senses, special spectacles, or special power to see his Vishwarupa in 11th chapter, isn't it? So we cannot know him in full, and what all power he possesses and all those things. It is beyond our imagination. So, but just whatever the bhakti we are doing, it's just an attempt to go near towards him.
Text 17. Avivaktam cha bhuteshu vivaktam cha sthitam bhuto bhatti cha tadagyayam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Although the super soul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as on, although he is the maintainer of every living entity. It is to be understood that he devours and develops all.
Yeah. If you think about Lord Krishna possessed like 16,108 wives, isn't it? He saved all the Rajkumaris because he's a savior for all those people. He is a husband for so many Rajkumaris and all. So, but when you go at any point of time, you will find Krishna in each and individual house. So it's not that he has multiplied into so many times. That is a presence of Krishna. He's omnipresent. So similarly, when the rasa dance is happening, Krishna is there with each gopi who is present in that place. Nidhivan dancing with each and individual gopi. He's very personalized to everyone. Only thing is that we need to develop that relationship, that bhakti with the Krishna, so that what do you say, he is with us. Next.
Text 18. Jati shamapi tachhati tamasa paramachyate jnanam yayam kyanat kammat hridi sarvasya vishtitam. He is the source of light in the luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart.
Yeah. So he is like a sunlight. If sunlight comes, all the darkness will go. Isn't it? Andhera chale jata hai and ujala ho jata hai. And the more the sun is coming, as you see in the middle of the day, it's very starch sun. Pani rehta hai, सूख जाता है, and all disinfectant हो जाते हैं, and all the plants will get the they can prepare their own food and all, everything. So when there is a light, there is no chance of darkness, isn't it? Similarly, once we have a knowledge about the law, God, and once we make the goal to have the knowledge about the law, then he is situated in everyone's heart. We just need to clean that heart by doing a bhakti, then the knowledge within what we have, it will get shine automatically like a sunshine.
619. इति क्षेत्रं तथा ज्ञानं चेयं चक्तं समाशतः मदभक्त एतो एतोद्विज्ञाय मदभाय मदभावाय पद्धते. Translation: thus the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotee can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature.
Yeah. So what all activity a body does, when it come in contact with the material nature is been described by the sages in different Vedas. Of course, Krishna is the source of all the Vedas. So only my devotees can understand this thoroughly. So again, Lord is making it clear who can understand this. So a person who is there in Krishna consciousness and who is the pure devotee can understand this and he can attain his nature.
Text 20. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidhvanadi uvavati vikarangascha gunangashchaiva avidhi prakriti shambhavan. Translation: material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature.
Yeah, so material nature, the three modes of material nature and the living entity, that Jivatma, are to be understood like beginning, because we take birth, we perish, again take birth and perish, like 84 lakh species. The work is to just take a birth and live up to some time. Birth, you grow up, you become old, again you perish. So there is no beginning and no end to this, isn't it? It's like a continuous cycle. So the transformations and the modes of matter are the product of the material nature. As per one karma, one again take birth in the, whether it's a human life or the lower animal forms or whatever it is. So they do come and they perish.
Text 21. कार्यकारण कर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृति च रुच्यते पुरुषो सुख दुःखानां भक्तृते हेतु रुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in the world.
Yeah. So now nature gives everything, it just gives us everything. See, water is free for us, air is free for us, land is free for us, isn't it? So we are having so many free things which is given by Lord. So, but it has got nothing if we are suffering or if we are enjoying also, it has got nothing to it. It is same for a poor man, rich man, anyone. If it's a devotee, non-devotee, any 84 lakh species has the same, what do you say, the possessions. The Lord has given everybody the same thing, isn't it? The sunshine, whether you take water, the air we are breathing in, everything is same for all these species, isn't it? But if some is suffering and somebody is happy, that is their individual perception. How they are getting in contact with the material nature and their reaction to it plays a main role.
Text 22. Purusa prakriti stahi bhunakte prakriti jana gunan karanam guna sambhajya sadasa yani janamasu. Translation: this living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with his material nature. Thus, he mates with good and evil among various species.
Yeah. So he just enjoys the life through different modes, you know, and this is because he's there in the material world. He enjoy the association of the material nature. So not only good, he will even meet the evil among the various species. So that is a part and parcel how he interact with the nature, and it's through different modes.
623. उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च वर्तवक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मते चाप्युक्तो देह अस्मिन् पुरुषपरः. Translation: Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the Supreme Superior, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the Super Soul.
Yeah. So in this body, there is another super soul which is there in each one of us, isn't it? The Lord Himself is sitting inside. He oversees everything, agar, and He permits everything. Bec- And as per one's karma, He permits us to do whether good or bad, whatever it is. But He's not affected by any of this. He's untouched by all this material interactions.
624. या एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सर्वथा वर्तमानपि न स भूय अभिजायते. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is pure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position.
Yeah. A person who has a knowledge of this, definitely he knows that everything is temporary in this world. It is waste of time lamenting over the things which are all temporary. So he will concentrate only on the Lord, and he engage all his senses in service of the Lord, and his mind is totally involved into it. Definitely he, and such a person is free from the circle of a birth and death. So he will never come back again, and he'll go to Golok.
Mataji,
Yeah.
when we don't take part, then the 84 lakh species gonna be 83,909.
Yeah. Actually, human life is the highest of all. Why? Because we have got a consciousness, isn't it? The rest of the
Yeah, yeah.
lower animals, they don't have the consciousness. They just go by the nature of the Lord. Okay. So
Hmm.
we got this human form just to have this consciousness so that we can cultivate our connection with the Lord and never come back to this cycle of birth and death. See, dukhalayam ashashvatam. That means the world is full of sufferings, We cannot pass on even a single day without any suffering. A person who knows about this, only we can know about it, because God has given us the consciousness. The lower animals, they don't have any consciousness. They just eat, sleep, mate, and procreate. That's it, their life. They don't remember anything. But we humans are apart from this. Apart from what animals do, we have a higher consciousness. We can know what is right, what is wrong, and we can what do you say, channelize our energies in a proper way. So in that way, we are superior to them.
Text 25. ध्यानात्मानि पश्यन्ति यदि तात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साख्यान योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे. Translation: Some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without creative desires.
Yeah, so we all know that some super soul is there within each of us, isn't it? So how we are trying to find out that ways to know him, because our inner conscious take a different route, some through the meditation, they meditate upon the Lord, they activate their chakras, and they come to know about the Lord, like how Dhruv Maharaj did. Okay, so he stood up and he was totally concentrating on the Lord, and automatically भगवान उनको प्रकट होते हैं. Similarly, some people through cultivation of a knowledge, they read the scriptures, they strictly follow it, and they try to analyze and follow severe austerities, and they come to know about the Lord. And other class of people, they work for the Lord without acting, without uh, uh, what do you say, returns ke bina they work. They are not expecting anything out of their work towards the Lord. So they totally indulge in the seva of the Lord. Like you can say Dasya Rasa, like Lord Hanuman in Ramavatar. So totally he is engaged in the service of the Lord. So such is an example to reach the Lord.
626. Anya deva majananta asrutyanyeve upasate te opi chaturantavo vitam suti parayanaha. Translation. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
So, apart from what we have mentioned in a previous verse, the three types of a people, there are also again there are few people who are not conversant in spiritual knowledge, but still they try to begin to worship the Supreme Personality by hearing through somebody, through Guru, to a spiritual master. They come to know about him and they know about him. So by since they got a golden opportunity, it is Krishna's blessing to hear from the authorities. They also transcend the path of birth and death by hearing from different resources, meaningful resources. Yeah.
627. Javat sanjayate kinjit shatam sthavar jangama chitra shitram gotsam jagat tadviti bharatarstava. O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and no other.
Yeah. So whatever you see in the material existence, whether it's a mountain, whether it's a hill, whether it's a river, whether it's a bird, whether it's an animal, or whether it's a demigod, whatever it is. So it's a combination of all the field of activities and the person who knows about it. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna.
28. Tamang sarveshu bhriteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashat swabhinashantam yapashati shapashati. The on which is the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed actually.
Yeah. So who is a person who sees the super soul? Okay. Who understands the soul and super soul, that both are indestructible, isn't it? The soul only changes the body and super soul remains the same, isn't it? So such a person who has the knowledge about the soul, he will be the person who actually sees the Lord within.
समं पश्यन्न हि सर्वत्र सामवस्थितमीश्वरं न हि न्यस्तत्म नात्मानं ततो याति परम गतिम्. On who see the super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind, thus he approaches the transcendental destination.
Yeah. So a person who identify the soul within, that is being a soul, he when who identify the super soul, he will not get entangled in this material world by any means, and he will not try to degrade himself. Okay, because he knows what is truth, so he try to follow the path by which he can reach the final transcendental destination, that is the Goloka.
30. प्रकृतैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वतः या पश्यति तथात्मनः कर्तरं च पश्यति. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees.
Yeah. So one who can see all the activities which a body performs, with, whether it's sattva, raja, or tamo guna, which are created with a material nature. And everything, we are just a puppet, like Arjuna is just a puppet in the hand of a Lord to do the war in Kurukshetra, isn't it? But everything is predetermined and it is written by Lord. So one who knows this truth, who can see this, so then he will try to do everything as a service towards the Lord.
Text 31. यदा भूत पृथग्भाव नैकस्थमनुपश्यति तात एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म संवदते तदा. When a sensible man seizes to the different identities due to different material bodies and he sees how brings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception.
Yeah. So because this realized man is able to see everything, say suppose in which mode you are, which mood you are, and what will be your interactions, and how it's going to be the result of it, everything knows. The person who can analyze this, that is that person said to be in the mode of a Brahman stage.
Text 32. Anaditanya guna tat paramatma yogayo sharirastha api kvantayo na karoti na lipyate. Those with the vision of entity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body or Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled.
Yeah, a person who has the clarity about this, the soul is imperishable, transcendental, ever eternal, and all. So despite this, because we possess a material body and it comes into the contact with the material nature. Okay, so the soul is neither going to do anything nor it's going to get entangled. A learned man know how to channelize his soul, so he don't get entangled in this material life.
Text 33. यथा सर्वगतं शिशौ अदाकाशं न पुलिपतते सर्वत्र अवस्थितो देहे तथात्मनोपलिपतते. Translation: the sky, due to its suitable nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body.
So you can take example of a lotus, it stays in the water, but it is not affected by water, isn't it? Not even a single drop of water will stay on the leaf of a lotus flower. Similarly, thou, the soul is with the body, it is totally independent of the activities what a body does.
यथा प्रकाशयत्यकृतस्न लोकमिमं रविः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृतस्न प्रकाशयति भारत. O son of Bharata, As the sun alone illuminates all the universe, so does the living entity on within the body illuminate the entire body by consciousness.
So, one sun is there for a one universe, isn't it? So, but it
Hmm.
will give illumination to all the nine planets, isn't it? Earth is one among them. So, similarly, the soul which is there in individual body will illuminate the whole body, what it possesses by its consciousness. So, it is always, we should try to stay in a mode of a goodness to maintain a good consciousness that will help us to move further in a Krishna consciousness.
Text 35. Kshetra kshetragoyo reva antarang jnana chaksha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain the supreme goal.
Yeah.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. So, a person who knows the difference between the individual soul, the body, the activities of the body, the five sense organs, the five senses, the five working senses, and the motor sensors, your false ego, intelligence in the mind, the prakriti around, its interaction with the nature. So, and Lord is the ultimate creator of all these things, but at the same time everything is destroyed by you, and nothing whatever exists in the nature is all like a recycled one, isn't it? It come, it perish, it comes, it perishes, so nothing is permanent in this. When a soul within there, within each of us, and it also has it's an element of a super soul. When we can recognize that inner soul within, when we can enlighten our soul within, see all this process what we are doing, the reading Bhagavad Gita, doing the japa and all those things, will is only the process to discover inner self. Once we are able to discover that inner self, then we know everything is temporary, then we don't get entangled in this maya, or we don't get entangled in these three different modes of material nature, and we also try to take a path which will ultimately take to our home, that is back to godhead. That is and Krishna consciousness is one process which will ultimately take us to the back to godhead. Okay, so that should be the ultimate supreme goal for all of us, so to get liberated from this bondage of cycle of birth and death. We don't want to get trapped in all 84 lakh species, and we wanted to further upgrade ourselves to the higher planets, not to the higher planet directly. We wanted to go back to the Goloka. So we should take this an opportunity as a blessing, that we are in Krishna consciousness, we are in the right path, and the only thing is that we need to cultivate this further and move forward. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So next week we'll try to complete two chapters, 14 and 15. That would be better. Any doubts, Amit? Hare Krishna. Anything you wanted to ask? Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you participants for your active participation.